The checkout is the next frontier of commerce media because it's something that the consumer is engaging with and has already made a decision on what they are going to buy. The challenge will be is you have to do it in a frictionless way so that one, you're not adding any additional time at register or at kiosk. And then two, you always have to ensure that it's personalized. So tying it to the loyalty component of each store will really allow for this to be a very powerful moment at a checkout experience on a POS screen.
PJ, a lot of in-store media has historically been built around screens, signage, or awareness. How is this different when the media moment is tied to an actual checkout interaction?
It actually is quite different. I think when you are looking at the traditional way or the current way of which retail media is done through screens in store, it's always maybe the consumer had saw it. You're going in and trying to piece together mountains of data. It could be, foot traffic volume or velocity of product through a store, and it takes a combination of data to really make that story have a compelling argument for why those dollars are being spent. The benefit of what we designed through this in-store concept is that you're bringing the online experience of traditional measurement from impression to click to conversion, full funnel on a screen inside of a physical retail environment for the first time ever.
Well, that also brings us to the question of measurement, which has been as you know, one of the biggest challenges for in-store media or media in general. So, wanted to know what changes when an offer can be identity aware, delivered at checkout, and tracked through a real action like SMS, email, or conversion.
So what this can really allow for the consumer is they can be presented an offer from a measurement perspective, and they can opt in to receive it via an email or through an SMS, and they take that offer with them. They are leaving the store with a value driven or a thank you type moment for the user to go through and engage at their leisure, but it's something that the offer was so compelling that they wanted to make sure that they didn't miss that offer. So the powerful piece here is from a measurement perspective is one, you're getting brand visibility for a consumer who's in a purchase mindset and has actually just completed a transaction. And also during that transaction moment, but then you can follow them and be in their inbox or be in, their SMS on their phone when they are ready to convert for that offer. It could be when they get home from work. It could be after they're finished with their errands. It could be after, baseball practice with their son and daughter. It's really giving them the power as the consumer with the ability to convert on that offer that they received and selected on that POS screen.
PJ, for retailers and consumers, the opportunities the benefits seem pretty self-evident. But sticking with retailers, obviously, for the moment, should they look at this as a primarily new revenue stream, a better consumer experience, or a way to make existing checkout infrastructure work harder?
It's all of the above. First, we want to start with the customer experience and modernizing every engagement they have at that screen. No more of these, old pin pads with the hard buttons that looks like a Texas Instrument calculator at checkout, and it's a really tiny screen that could be very hard to read. So modernizing that is first and foremost what we want to be working on with every retailer. Two, I think that when you're looking at should that software be working harder, it absolutely should. It should be, processing that transaction is the easiest part of what the operating model of this product or hardware should be doing. The software behind it needs to be really engaging for the consumer, opting into the loyalty program, driving higher authentication of every single customer transaction, which is really powerful data for the retailer. And then when you add in the revenue component that can come from this, it has a massive opportunity to one, accelerate any kind of amortization of this hardware product where based on the size of each store and how many transactions they're doing annually, you're looking at an accelerated payback window of that capex to be from 5 to 10 years to under 6 months. So CFOs and all of the retailers will love this opportunity to really let the monetization be that accelerant from a payback for the investment of that hardware.
So, PJ, looking forward, what has to happen for in-store commerce media to become a regular part of advertisers' media plans rather than an experimental channel?
I think first and foremost, it has to be trust. You have to get the trust from the retailer. You have to get the trust from the consumer, and that you're showing them the right offer that they opt in. And then once you have that trust earned, the advertising dollars and the brands will want to be able to be found at a very compelling place with consumers that have a spending decision right then and there to make that purchase. And it could be something for a vacation. It could be a good subscription offer. It could be something from a telecommunications provider. It's really endless for what the opportunities could be on this screen. But I think first and foremost, if we don't deliver the personalization and the trust that the users will engage or the customers will engage, that has to happen first for this to really be a true success.